Hey everyone, welcome to another hunt video. Today we're going to be fighting Giganox, so let's get on with this. And here he is, Giganox. So, as you can see, if you fought a Khezu before, there are some similarities between Khezu and Giganox. They're both kind of, the same sort of thing, but there's obviously a big difference. Giganox is like a flat, big dude. Now, just like Khezu, he goes on the roof like this as well, so you got to really watch out for that because he can grab you. So like if you're sitting under him, he can grab you and then do a pin attack, which he basically just eats you at that point. It does a decent amount of damage, so you do want to watch out for that. And this is one of the more unique things with Giganox. He can put those down. There's two types. There's that poison bomb there, which he just did, which obviously, as you saw, explodes into a poison bomb. But he can also put down a normal like egg sac, which spawns these dudes, the little Giggies, which look like mini Khezus. So you got to watch out for that. They can be a little annoying because they'll latch onto you and take your health away, but they're not hard to deal with. Oh god, watch out for that move as well. So you want to bring some antidotes if you're going to be doing this quest because there is a lot of poison. Now Giganox is a pretty cool monster. I personally like him a lot. It is unfortunate that he hasn't been in the series since 3 Ultimate, I believe. And he hasn't been in many of the games in general. He's only been in 3rd generation, so Monster Hunter Tri, Potable 3rd, this game, and 3 Ultimate. So he's been kind of forgotten, and I do miss him. I miss him because he's more unique than Khezu, but they often bring Khezu back instead because he's like an OG one. But I like Giganox because he's a bit more unique, and he's just kind of cool like that. Now, Giganox does have one subspecies in the mainline series. There are a couple in, I believe, Monster Hunter Explorer and stuff as well, but in the mainline series he only has one, which is Baleful Giganox. And basically Baleful Giganox is just like an electric version of Giganox pretty much, so there won't be poison, it'll be electric instead. Now the most obvious thing to notice when Giganox is angry is he turns a black color instead of the white that he is when he's not angry. So as you can see, he's turned black right now, so he is angry. That's the easiest way to tell. Obviously, there's plenty of other ways to tell that he's angry, but that's just one of the easier ways. His moveset, genuinely, it's not too bad. Like, he's not a incredibly hard monster. But he can be a little annoying if you're, not playing very well or you're not paying attention, and that can happen as well. And especially if you have low health and then he poisons you, it can be annoying in that sense. And see, like, that's the egg sac that I was talking about before. So this one will spawn normal Giggies, like the little dudes that are on the ground before. So you got to watch out for that because they can be annoying. You can break it. I will do it. I'll do it once he comes off the roofs and he doesn't drop on me. As you can see, a normal Giggies come out, but you can just attack it and then it will break it. So just attack it a bunch of times and there we go. Now it's broken. And one pretty interesting thing with Giganox is, as you can see, he doesn't really have eyes. So you're not going to be able to flash bomb him. So don't even bother bringing that because he doesn't have eyes. So a flash bomb is going to have 0 effect on him. And when he gets to, like, the tired, hungry state, the poison that he spits out won't, come out. He won't actually be able to spit anything. So that's a good opportunity to do as much damage as possible, especially if you're having issues with it. And in the Monster Hunter 20th anniversary, he actually came pretty high, which I honestly isn't surprising, but he came 94th. Oops, that was a terrible idea. So yeah, he came 94th place, which doesn't actually surprise me because people that have played 3rd gen love Giganox, as far as I'm aware. Most people do. And a lot of people do want Giganox back in the mainline games because, well, he hasn't been in it since 3 Ultimate, which is a very long time ago. And when he trips over, as you can see here, he flips onto his back, which is pretty good. You can do some pretty juicy damage there. I do believe you can break a few parts on him. I'm actually not too sure what. I think you can break his head. You can't cut his tail off, but you might be able to break it. I'm pretty sure. I feel like I remember that. I'm not 100% sure on that though. And obviously, as you can see, just by his design, he has like a fake head as his tail, so it's pretty obvious to tell which one's which, though, for us. But it is a cool design how there's basically 2 heads because it's meant to, it's like a defense mechanism and a way to trick other monsters that it's trying to eat. With like, how like a lot of lizards have that sort of thing. It's pretty cool that they took inspiration from that. Now, one thing you can do when he's on the roof, you can bring bounce bombs and blow him up. That's probably a good idea. I think I was supplied some, but I didn't bring any, just because I just wait for him to jump down and then attack him there. And Giganox pretty much only goes in caves. I'm actually not sure if he ever leaves caves. I think he's always in caves. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I think I've only ever fought them in caves, if I remember correctly. So if you're starting out the quest, if you're starting out the quest and you're not sure where he is, just look in the caves. You'll more than likely find him there. Because it's similar to Khezu. Khezu leaves caves more often, but like it's kind of like, that blind, like cave-dwelling, creepy type monster. Now, if you're wanting to bring an element to hunt Giganox, he is weakest against fire. As you can see though, I've just brought raw. I pretty much always just bring raw. You can bring you can bring other stuff as well. Like, even though he spits poison, he can be poisoned. So if you want to bring that, you can. But he is weakest against fire. So if you're struggling or you just want to do the most optimal damage, then just bring fire. And I would say Giganox is a relatively early on harder monster. He's not super early on and he's not incredibly hard. But I feel like he's one of those monsters where, you know, you've been fighting the monsters, you haven't been having too many issues, and then you come up against Giganox and he could give you issues. I do believe he gave me some issues when I first played through Portable Third. I actually did struggle with him, especially with the poison. So it can be quite annoying, but he is still an early on monster, so you might struggle if you haven't been upgrading your gear, buying, you know, getting new armor, getting a new weapon, that sort of stuff. And especially because you can bounce off of him if your sharpness is low enough, and I believe his tail pretty much always bounces. I've got white sharpness, so it's not doing it now. But I do remember when I fought him, I bounced on him quite a bit on the back half and some of the front. But the poison is honestly the more annoying part, especially the poison, like the move that he did, this move where he jumps and, well, he didn't jump there, but where he spits the poison out basically. It can be quite annoying. Especially if, you know, you're just sitting there, especially if your health is already relatively low, because then you're going to be struggling with trying to get your health back up. And this move can be annoying as well. Yep, it's got a very big range. But yeah, like I said, even though I said he isn't super hard, I would still say, like, if you haven't fought him before, come prepared. And especially if your gear's on the lower end for the rank that you're fighting him in, you might have some issues, so do make sure you're ready. Also, for the best hit zones on Giganox, his stomach is the best generally, but also his head is pretty good. So obviously when he trips over, he exposes his belly, so it's a good time to hit that. But his head is pretty good, his neck is decent, and his legs aren't, like his back legs aren't terrible. But it does depend if you're cutting, like you're using cutting damage or impact. For impact, the head is the best. The stomach is still good, but the head is the best. Oh, and he's limping now. So yeah, but if you're using cutting, the stomach is the best, the head is second best. So it depends on what you're trying, what weapon you're using, of course. So if you're using, you know, a hammer, go for the head. If you're using what I'm using, a longsword, the stomach is the best spot, but secondary, go for the head, pretty much. And for both of those, impact and cutting, the back legs are decent, but it depends if you're going to bounce or not. Now, as you saw, he's limping, so he is relatively close to death. Now, this wasn't a high rank one, this is just a low rank one, so it's not like it's going to be very hard. But it will definitely be harder if you're fighting one that's the rank you're doing and you don't have super good gear. Like, my gear isn't amazing, but it's better than, you know, nothing. And he keeps getting tripped over, so it's a good time to hit the stomach here. And as you can see, some areas just naturally have the Gigi spawns, so you do want to watch out for that, because as you might have seen earlier, they latch onto you. I'll show you here if this one does it. So as you can see, they latch onto you and they take your health away. It's pretty slow, but to get rid of them, you just roll. Just roll multiple times and it will come off. Oh, okay, one of the cats killed Giganox. Okay, that was pretty amazing. So yeah, as you can see, it's not super hard. I'm surprised one of the cats killed him though, but yeah. The main thing to watch out for is the fact that he spits poison constantly, and when he's on the roof, he does have a pin attack. Be careful with that, because he will eat you, and it does a whole lot of damage. Obviously, it didn't happen this quest, but it can happen, especially if he's on the roof and you're sharpening or something, and then he jumps onto you and pins you. Okay, and there we go, guys. So that's going to be the end of this episode. Interestingly enough, that was actually a Gold Crown shortest Giganox, so they're usually bigger than that. I didn't actually really notice that it was short, like small, but apparently it was. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you'd like to join the channel as a member, you can. I'll show on screen now all the members you have. Thank you all very much. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode. I'm not too sure what monster will be fighting next, but either way, you guys will see when it comes out. So see you guys then. Bye.